Of all the avatars before Aang, we seem to know less and less about each of them as you go further back in time. We know a decent amount about Roku's life, we know some of the important things Kyoshi did, we know Kuruk's tragic love story, and we know there weren't many conflicts during his lifetime. We know even less about Yang Chen other than that she was very strict and fierce and she did whatever it took to keep the peace. She was also willing to give up her air nomad cultural values for the greater good. Oh yeah, and one of the comics tells us that she fought this powerful spirit this one time. And with Avatar Jafar, we don't even know his real name, so we had to nickname him after some Disney character. All we know is that he made some volcanoes erupt one time, that we don't even know why. And with the Avatar before him, all we know is that he looks like Gimli. Okay, so the whole point of this video is that there's really like a lack of backstories with the Avatars and just things in the Avatar world in general. Now they are expanding on Kyoshi's story with those novels that are coming out. Wait a minute, did that come out yet? I gotta check. July 16th. Okay, I thought I missed it, but alright, yeah, I'm gonna read that. But yeah, wouldn't it be really cool if there was a book with like a list of avatars that had their names and pictures and some information about them? Now, the Avatar franchise actually has some really excellent world building, well, at least in the first show, but the history of said world is not as fleshed out as some other fantasy worlds. Just look at the A Song of Ice and Fire series. There is a ridiculous amount of detail and backstories and history for all the characters and houses and continents and everything. I look at all the histories and family trees of all the noble houses and stuff, and it's so complex. It's like reading an actual history book. I can't believe this was all just written by one guy. And I can't believe that same guy can't finish his books. But anyway, it would be really cool to know more about all the past avatars. Well, not all of them. I've said before in another video that it's kind of stupid to try to explain the origins of everything in a fantasy world. The story of the first Avatar was not something we needed to see. I went more in depth with this on another video. I'll have it linked up here or something in the corner. I'd also like to see a really complex story set in the Avatar world. Something kind of like Game of Thrones, although it doesn't have to have all the gratuitous sex and violence that Game of Thrones has, but something with a lot of complex interconnected plot lines with a lot of different characters and a bunch of like political and military maneuvering. That would be really cool. Perhaps it could take place hundreds or thousands of years before Aang and perhaps be about some large war between different noble families in what's now the Earth Kingdom. But back then it was just a bunch of smaller kingdoms fighting for control of the continent, and and one of the families could be the Beifongs, you know, Toph's ancestors. Something like that would be really cool. It would be much more interesting than a live action remake. Wow, I have really gone off on a sine divided by cosine here. I just wanted to make a video about Avatar Jafar, but there really wasn't much to say about him. But the whole point of this video is that there should be a lot to say about him. Also, this has totally nothing to do with the fact that the live-action Aladdin remake is coming out right now. That's totally a coincidence. So what do you think? Do you think the history of the Avatar world should be fleshed out a little more? And which Avatar would you most like to learn more about? Leave your opinions in the comments. Follow me on social media, support me on Patreon. Big thanks to my patrons, Meatrin, Colleen West, Luke Sherman, and Jay Campbell. Subscribe for more Avatar videos, like, comment, subscribe, blah blah blah. Watch my other Avatar videos. Bye bye.